Dear students, now we are going to discuss the basic concepts of projectiles. In the course mechanics, we are going to study 2 units from statics and 3 units from dynamics. Among them, projectiles is one of the important unit. We must have some basic concepts and basic knowledges regarding Newton's 3 fundamental basic formula regarding time distance equations, that is V is equal to U plus AT, S is equal to UT plus half AT square, V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. If there is a motion, these formulas are applicable. Here U is the initial velocity, V is the final velocity, A is the acceleration, T is the time taken by the particle for a movement or displacement. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Here S is called displacement, U is called initial velocity of the particle, A is called acceleration. Third equation, V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. V means final velocity, U means initial velocity, A means acceleration, S means displacement of the particle. Now, we must know the basic concepts of projectiles. What are all the things that are projected by a force is called a projectile. In this chapter, we study coplanar motions of particles under gravity only, neglecting air resistance and assuming that the motion is so close to the surface of the earth so that G is a constant. What do you mean by a projectile? A particle or a body projected is called a projectile. The path traced by the projectile is called trajectory. Horizontal range, that means the path covered by the projectile in the horizontal plane is called horizontal range. Suppose the plane is an inclined one, then in the inclined plane, in that particular slope, the distance traveled by the particle is what? The range in the inclined plane. Displacement as a combination of vertical and horizontal displacement is a subheading. See, now we are throwing one ball in the open air. It moves both vertically and horizontally. It can be easily seen by others and also by me. So there is a movement at a time both horizontally as well as vertically. So the motion was resolved into 2 components. One is horizontal component, another one is vertical component. Suppose I am projecting one particular body or an object with a force or velocity u, that is initial velocity, with respect to the horizontal plane with one certain angle. That angle may be alpha. Then that force was resolved into two parts. One is horizontal, another one is vertical. That velocity, the horizontal velocity, is u cos alpha, and the vertical velocity is u sin alpha. So the horizontal displacement of the projectile in a time t is velocity into time. The horizontal velocity is what? U cos alpha. The time is what? T. Similarly, the vertical displacement also considered. The vertical displacement, the acceleration due to gravity is downwards. So instead of A, we have to put minus G in Newton's formula. And the initial velocity in the positive direction is u cos alpha. Now we are going to discuss an important statement, the bookwork. We have to show path of a projectile, that is the trajectory, is a parabola. With these basic things we are going to discuss about path of a projectile is a parabola. How is it possible, sir? Now consider the figure. In the figure, a particle is projected from a point O. The particle moves up to A horizontally. In the horizontal axis, it will reach a point A, OA. Let P be any point that is on the path of the projectile. It was x comma y. Let t be the time at any instance in which the particle in the point P x comma y. Suppose a particle of mass m is projected from a point O with a speed u in the direction which makes an angle alpha with the horizontal, and the particle hit the horizontal plane through O at A. Choose OA as the x-axis and the upward vertical line OY y-axis. Let P be the point on the trajectory P of x comma y at any instance t. Then the horizontal and vertical displacements of the particle at a time t are x and y. Since Earth's gravity is the only force on the projectile, the horizontal and upward vertical components of the accelerations are 0 and minus g. Sir, we are saying here horizontal component of gravity is 0 and vertical component of gravity is minus g. If horizontally Earth will never give attraction, but a particle is upward, it's moving, then the gravity will attract the particle towards down. So we are putting negative sign g. Therefore, the horizontal component of the velocity is always a constant, and which is the initial component u cos alpha. Therefore, the horizontal displacement in time t is equal to velocity into time. We know that horizontal velocity is u cos alpha, the instantaneous time for any instant t. So x is equal to u cos alpha into t. For the upward displacement during the motion of a particle from O to the point P, we have initial velocity u cos alpha, acceleration is minus g, time taken is t, distance travelled by the particle is y. Using the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square, we are putting y is equal to u into sin alpha t minus 1 by 2 gt square. Here we are having two relations. One is x is equal to u cos alpha into t, and another one is y is equal to u sin alpha t minus 1 by 2 gt square. Now we are equating first and second equation. The parametric equation of the trajectory that is in xy equation is obtained by eliminating the parameter t. Now we can write that t is equal to x by u cos alpha. Put t is equal to x by u cos alpha instead of t in second equation. What we have, y is equal to u sin alpha into x divided by u cos alpha minus g by 2 into x by u cos alpha the whole square. That is, y is equal to x tan alpha minus g x square by 2u square cos square alpha. This is a second degree equation satisfying the relation h square minus ab is equal to 0. So it represents a parabola, hence the trajectory is a parabola. So we discussed the important question that equation of a path of a projectile is a parabola now. Nice.